What's going on? Move the Mouse back here in the town of Santa Rico with our Let's Play Season 2 episode number 20, I believe. And at the end of the last episode, I caused some commotion with moving around some water and flooding our train tunnel project. It's still a little flooded. I did move around the water just a little bit. Let me show you what I did there. So same basic principle, but where we had kind of the pipes sucking up all the water on one side and the sewage drains coming out the other. Actually overflowing onto the water here. I could probably extend that out a bit. But what I did was, since these are completely purifying the water, it's dumping out clean water. I just put them on one side and the water pumps on the other, so that way there's no kind of dead zone. Even if the water, which would have been flowing down the canal, kind of dries out here towards the middle, you've got the water outputs happening right across the way, so that stays nice and full. And I think water's pretty good. It's definitely requiring a ton of space here on the map, but you can see it's got a nice flat clean look. And even over here up in the hills, it doesn't stand out too much in the terrain there across the way, which is exactly what I was trying to do. It kind of, again, looked jagged before, so it's nice to kind of flatten that out and give it a nice look. I started to fill out this a little bit with some standard zoning. So we've got a little bit of residential that's cropping up. We're doing commercial zones on the exterior roads, and then some office space here or there to meet the industrial demand, which now is caught up, but I'm sure we'll get some at some point. What I wanted to do this episode was maybe clean up the trains a little bit and also get our cargo hub connected, because right now we have the external train route, which does bring in traffic here, so we can import export to the cargo yard. But the trains that we've hooked up over here are 100% interior loop. That, and some of these are a little tight. We've still got some traffic problems happening. We're working on that with things like the trains. And I want to be very careful that these connections are long enough here. So I'm going to pause it right here. So if that train had to wait for this one to get out of the station, for example, you want to make sure that it's not sticking out onto the track back here. Otherwise, it backs up this traffic. It can cause all sorts of jams. We saw that in the last city that I built, because I made some of the junctions a little too close. You can see that this is still flooded here, and I think I can solve that problem by demoing it and then rebuilding it, because the water just is kind of sitting in the tunnel, I think. Let me see here. Pretty sure. One way to find out, though. So let's just connect from here to underneath. No, it does not fix it. There's still water underground, so it is subsiding a bit. Hopefully it will eventually drain off, but it doesn't seem to impact the trains. It doesn't think that the tracks are flooded anymore. And in fact, you can see that the water doesn't really get into the tunnel, because the tunnel doesn't technically exist. Just an arbitrary connection point. You can't drive into them. You can't walk down there, drive in there. And it doesn't look like the water actually exists in a plane below kind of where it's sitting at the surface. I think it should be fine. It will eventually dry out because there's no source delivering more water there. I would like to clean up the trains a bit, like I said, and connect this to the cargo line down here, because this is just a station that's functioning as it did before without a train hookup. So we'll pause. We'll do a little bit of modification of what was happening over here, because I want to bring this over the other train track. Let me see. Where do we want to go? Maybe bring it around the airport and up. But we can kind of connect this right over the other train track. We're actually going to come up. It wants to put it down on the ground. Let's go to our curve tool. Let's see what is it trying to do here? It's trying to dip it down to get to the ground. I just want it to stay up, so that should be good. So let's bring this, we'll bring this back down. Try and do a nice smooth slope. And we can kind of hook it around the airport. I do this. See, the good thing about this too is when Industries comes out for console, been out for quite a while on the PC, but they have a cargo airport as well. So having the cargo train kind of run through here is going to be very easy to branch off and get train traffic to there, and we can have that kind of connected in to our industrial area, which would be good. So for this, I'm gonna go, we can go over the highway. I think I might end up making this slope. Let's delete this right here and let's make this slope a little smoother. Here we go. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Oh, no we won't. Now we'll do the same thing on this side, so it's about 12 units out where that slope is nice and smooth. And then let's see how we get this over here. So we can come right over, we put the highway under the ground here. I want to kind of hook it in a somewhat natural bend. So that allows the cargo train to get obviously from outside of the map into our industrial area. And that is also hooked up now so that cargo can get from here around our airport where hopefully we can cram, I hope, a cargo airport in here. And then that skips over this train line and hooks up into here. We don't necessarily need this to turn around. This is just fine like this. If we wanted to, we could build a little turnaround here for the trains and hook them back in. Maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea, but we don't need it because trains can just come in and then turn back, come the way that they came in. We'll see if that backs up or causes any problems. We also have the shipping lane here. So the ships come in. So now we can get trucks come into here, drop off cargo to ship it off via ship or via train to our industrial area. And then same thing in reverse, right? Cargo can come from off map via train or the industrial area. It can come in via ship into here, and then trucks can take it off into our city. So that's pretty good. Let's get our trains connected back up because our commuter rail is now a little bit messed up. Okay, so we've got that connected. I do want to, again, clean these up at some point. I want to see kind of what difference we're making with the traffic. So this helps to reduce a little bit of truck traffic, though it could have the unintended consequence of making this area busier for trucks that are now exporting via train or more stuff coming in the zone this way. So we'll have to look at our traffic. It's a constant battle. As you fix things, as you make adjustments, you're sometimes just moving traffic problems elsewhere, like I've done here. The important thing is just to kind of always keep at it and have a plan. Let's see where we're at traffic-wise. 71%. I would like it to be better. It's not at the point where it's too negative of an impact, but it is, you know, our growth is pretty stagnant right now. We're at 129,000. We were around 130. You can see our growth is actually in the negative. It's jumping kind of back and forth. But we're making little tunes and tweaks as we go. One thing I added in was this little road right here. I'm trying to fill in kind of all the available space. So this road is a new road, and we built the luxury hotel and the casino here. I kind of wanted to put that over here near our leisure district, which is Hickory Park. And then we have our tourism down here on the other side of the office block, the stacks. So that is generating a lot of traffic and interest in the city. But residence-wise, we're at kind of a plateau. Now, we do have a demand for commercial. And sometimes when you have demand for commercial and industrial and not residential zones, you might have to keep an eye on your unemployment. It's really good right now at 6%, which I can certainly not complain about. When I did some major rebuilding and knocked a bunch of businesses out to do stuff like this, you can kind of see how much traffic is supporting here now. Like the rotary's moving pretty good. You know, it's getting a little backed up to this exit, but it's not too bad. Traffic is definitely flowing around here. and here. But when I knocked those buildings out to kind of completely rebuild these blocks, had the unemployment up around 17%, which is not great. Uh-oh. What do we do? So power is disconnected everywhere right now. So that would lead me to believe that we actually have... What? How's our electricity availability at 0? Did my... No! No! Oh no! All right, cinematic mode. Let's watch this play out. Are we on 3 times speed? We are. This is terrible. Fusion power was supposed to be safe, they said. I have full confidence in my fire department that they're going to put this one out. There's 3 trucks there. The buildings next to it are on fire. Holy cow. I hope that they come put those out soon, otherwise it's just going to spread right back. I do love the logic of the fire department AI in this game. So they come down here, they put out the fire, and they're like, okay, great, we're done here. End of our shift. Let's drive down here, let's turn around, let's go back to the station. I hope that these fire engines stop here on the way back. They certainly don't seem to have... Yeah, they don't have any urgency because they're going back. They're done for their shift. They don't care that the buildings next door are on fire. It looks like we're good here. That could have been really bad. I mean, we certainly can afford to throw another fire department in. Another power station. Another fusion plant if we had to. We have the money. You can see our budget was actually in the negative there for a minute. But it's making the steady climb back up. City services were affected as part of that, so now that everybody has power again and everything's working right, we are back on the slow, steady climb. It's not the most profitable city at this point, but I honestly don't care about the profit because there's not a lot left that we have to buy. I would like to throw in the last couple unique buildings that we haven't done, and maybe we can find some spots for those right now. There's a driving range and a zoo. There's more of the actual, you know, monuments that you would see around the world, so we haven't built in stuff like the Eiffel Tower. Grand Central Terminal is actually a museum. So it'd be awesome if that actually functioned as a train subway terminal. That would be really cool, building to drop in the city. You have things like the sports arena. So we definitely could cram some of this stuff in. The Gherkin. So maybe we could find some spots for that. I know I would like to see the Chirpex site, but we're running out of room here, right? You know, the big stuff doesn't really belong down here. And as far as room wise, we could definitely throw some of that over here by the airport. This could be a nice little area to expand to. We could work on this area maybe a little bit and get that connected up. We kind of have this prison off to the edge of the map. I wonder how our garbage coverage is over here. They're complaining about it right now. I think they're on the edge of the edge of the coverage. Where is... Right there. Yeah, they're in the green. They should be fine. There'll be a truck coming eventually. Don't worry. It's probably, you know what it is? It's the prisoners complaining, hey, we need more garbage pickups. And meanwhile, they're trying to stash away in the garbage and escape that way. Nobody told them though that you could just walk through the fence. So again, I still have to call a contractor on that. That is just ridiculous. Not very secure. But we will we'll eventually get that sorted out. Okay, back to what we were doing, which was maybe considering a spot for some of these last couple uniques that we have not dropped in. So we've dropped all the leveled buildings, right? And actually, let me do it this way, because there's a new way to do this on consoles, which is definitely nice. From this menu right here, if I press A, I'm going through all the different tabs. If you press up on the D-pad instead, you can bring up a list of all the different buildings. We can kind of see what has been dropped in. There's a couple monuments that I still have to unlock for doing the scenarios, which eventually I will do, but even the traffic one gives me a headache. So we've got a bunch of the landmarks that we haven't dropped in. Tourism and leisure, we can find a spot for those right now. And then you also have these buildings, which are some of the modder pack buildings. If we can find a spot for the Robotics Institute over here, I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe we can kind of ruin our symmetry a little bit and throw in the Robotics Institute. So let's see how this fits kind of in this space. That's actually not too... Can we get that centered? Kind of wondering why it's snapping like that. That might be kind of cool. Let's see what that looks like. You still have some trees on the side here. Kind of looks like it fits with the university campus. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I kind of want to really make this area busy. I was thinking of throwing some more, you know, tennis and basketball over here, but it wasn't quite in the cards. Maybe we could smooth this hill out a bit, or make it a bit more of a sharp edge to that coastal road down below, and put some sports. Maybe we'll do some footpaths over here, and some sports areas for the students. But yeah, we have these different modder packs. Basically, these are, you know, optional buildings you can drop in. They have a cost. Sometimes they have a you know, a requirement for population to unlock some of them. Obviously, there's a ton more options on the PC. One of the things I really like is you can kind of add some realism and some fun stuff. You can drop in Best Buys and Targets and Walmarts and Starbucks and In-N-Out. So there's a lot of different stuff that you can drop into the city. Actual businesses, where here... Let's empty this while we're here. You get kind of knockoff. You know, they don't want to pay the licensing for actual businesses. So if we go, where's our main street? Like, you'll have like their Whole Foods. I think it's called Healthy Weeds, but you know, it definitely feels like there it is. Definitely sort of feels like a Whole Foods, right? Grocery store. Do we drop in the market, or is that a different DLC that I'm thinking of? It might be a different DLC. I was playing a lot in the PC, so I jump back and forth. I forget what's available. So let's go. Before I get sidetracked again, let's find a spot for the zoo and the driving range. I think the driving range would be okay down here. Kind of a suburban feel thing, right? We don't really have much going on over here. Kind of wouldn't feel that out of place. Tucked away in this neighborhood. Let's see. Might have some space up there. It doesn't feel like a real downtown urban thing. I feel like it should be somewhere down here in the lower density. I mean, we could kind of put it up here by the... Well, let us do that? It would let us do that. Let's do that for now. We can always move that around after the fact. That's kind of nice out there in the woods. Won't bother anybody. If the balls go long, they're just sailing off into our dirt mound. Again, pay no attention to that. That's not there. You can't see it. See? It's just... No one would ever notice that. It looks totally normal. We're not dumping all the dirt over there. Now, zoo-wise, I think we need good highway access. Not that this is the best highway. We're still working on that. A lot of people have asked in the comments, or suggested in the comments, that we turn on the encourage biking option, but believe me, it is on. I might want to look at adding some bike lanes to really encourage people to drive around more. So instead of having these, which have parking lanes, we could upgrade these. In fact, let's just do that to this strip, because this is one of our problem strips. Let's bring up info views and traffic. Kind of see it's all in the red. Could something as simple as just encouraging more biking along this road help? Let's find that out. So these are the grass roads. These are the bike lanes. So we will upgrade. When you upgrade these, you get rid of the parking lane, which I think I mentioned this in previous videos. It kind of makes it feel more alive. You've got cars parked there along the avenue. But let's Again, see if we can encourage some biking. I don't know that we need to do this strip. I don't think a lot of people are going to be biking, say, from the highway. So let's just start here. Hopefully we'll see some more biking as we give people dedicated lanes. Let's do that, at least for that strip. Is that somebody already using it? Yeah, there we go. So hopefully that will encourage that. We could also think to do that kind of along... I mean, this is just all really heavily trafficked through here. Let's give bikes an easy way to get through here and see if it improves any of our experience. I'm not going to touch our 6-lane roundabout, if you will. But let's go down here and do the same thing. All this area that's kind of really heavy traffic, we're going to upgrade these 6-lane roads. Accidentally knock out a business there. Now, I think this was okay over here, so let's leave that. Go back into traffic. It's these two really that are really heavy. You can see this intersection is very busy and a little slow as people are turning around, kind of stopping for each other. Let's take a look at that. Should be good there. We'll come back and see if that helped anything. Oh, somebody had asked, what is with this? What is with this? Right? This highway, it's not connected to anything. So I close these loops off at either end, because if they're not there, it flashes a little, hey, road can't connect icon. I did at one point try and get from this side of the city all the way down here, and I kind of dumped out... Where is that? I kind of dumped out down here where the casino and hotel is now. It wasn't very high traffic, though. It looks like this is slowing down quite a bit because of the backup that's happening over here. These interchanges are way too close together, unfortunately. So you get all these people getting on. They're getting backed up here. We can kind of fix that by having maybe a left-hand entrance for this one, or a left-hand exit for this. We could bring this off-ramp further down. So ideally you want people to get off the highway before they get on. So I may kind of redesign all this. That is going to require some serious rethinking, because this is becoming problematic. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is knocking down our traffic flow. It is. That's a big problem. So this is going to be a redesign, and I've got to also come up with a way, I think, to get from here to over here. But this itself is a big problem. All the traffic that we've got congesting kind of at this intersection. And then all this stuff over here. So if we're going to throw the zoo over here, it's going to add even more traffic. We could kind of come down here somewhere with it. Might be kind of nice. And I don't think the people visiting the zoo mind the noise. Animals might, IRL, but I don't think we have to worry about that here. Let's get out our roads. We don't want to upgrade. We want to connect off of here. We'll come just far enough over. I have all my snapping turned off, I just realized. And then we'll come down at a nice smooth slope. We'll just throw our zoo there for now. Let's see what that looks like. As we continue to beautify the city, we will probably smooth the slope this is sitting on next time. Ooh, you know what I haven't done? I've always seen it from overhead. Can we actually visit the zoo now? Can we walk through here? That would be... I was going to say, that would be pretty impressive. But no. They do have some polar bears over here. Do not attempt this in real life, by the way. Just fair warning. Can we ride them? Hey! Get in my face. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, come here, come here, come here. Aw. Yeah, come back out. Let's make a really weird baby. All right, sorry. No, never mind. Don't demonetize me, please. Please, not for that. Not for a stupid joke like that. Let's get out of here. We're not at the zoo. We're not making jokes. We are watering and powering it and leaving it and calling it a day. Water nice and easy from there. Power will just bring it right across the train tracks in 2 clicks. Do we have yet another death wave, or is it just because we don't have good cemetery coverage over here? Let's empty that one out. And I feel like, oh, I'm still emptying this one out, so that's definitely affecting service over here. Still about a third full, so we'll leave that to continue emptying. We've got death happening over here. I don't know if I dropped the cemetery in over here. Oh, I did. Okay, so I bet we're on another death wave. That is not helping our population. I always want to go into city info. Or info view. It's statistics. Population steadily on the rise. Love it. Death rate. We are on the climb for another death wave. So that will be affecting our population. Hopefully we'll get things sorted out by the time that wave peaks, and then we'll be able to get our population up. I'm hoping to maybe 140. Shouldn't be too big of a jump. We've still got some low density residential to fill in over here. Not a lot. A couple plots here and there. And then I would like to... We'll see this start filling out, hopefully. And then maybe another zone over here. I don't know if this is going to be high density residential on the hills. I think it's far enough removed from down here. I might knock some of these office buildings out and move the fusion power plant down that way a bit, just so there's a more natural climb. Like I mentioned over here, you know, I kind of want that, what you see in real life. You know, these big buildings get bigger and bigger until you get into that big downtown center. And that's sort of what we've achieved here. In retrospect, though, standard office and commercial is a little shorter than the fully upgraded residential, at least the green buildings. So let's, you know, I'll file that away for next time, kind of how we can stack the zones a bit. But that's a pretty good spot to break for now. Yeah, I think so. I think that's good. We've still got a couple things we can do. We've still got commercial demand we need to fill out. But I think one of the next big projects is just kind of figuring out what to do with all the traffic. There's still some tunes and tweaks we could do. This area desperately needs a revamp. But as you can see, it's dependent on not just making some adjustments to the highway, but making, unfortunately, some adjustments to the metro and the train system that we've got kind of intertwined and snaking all together. So we will come up with something. And that's honestly probably going to be an off-camera build. I'll try and record some of the highlights, but this is going to be tuning and tweaking forever. So let's take a look at this now, because this, I'm guessing, will be the next episode if I get time to record one and put some time into it. I would really like to revamp at least this segment of the highway. So we may not touch this clover leaf yet, but from, say, Emerson and Applegate up to Old Town and Oasis, I'd really like to revamp that right there, because these two are problematic to the point that they are going to affect, yeah, they're starting to back up all the way back here. And then if this backs up the cloverleaf, it's going to back up this even more, which could back up into the city. And it's just, you know, it's a house of cards, and you knock one over and the whole thing falls flat. So we'll try and come up with some solutions to that. And honestly, it's just kind of revamping. I think connecting from here to there, we can actually tell that in traffic routes. So you can like click on a road and kind of see where traffic is going. And there's just so much traffic coming through there right now. Crazy. So we've got to kind of sort that out. You can see what type of traffic is going where. So trucks are pretty much very heavy getting off the highway there. City service vehicles as well. So you can do things like move city service up here. We could have other cargo hubs and hook that into the train line so that they can use that instead of the roads to move certain goods around. But there's a lot of different things we could do. This is, I'm hoping, what I'll start to try and fix on the next episode, because we had the above highway working pretty well, but as this area grew out, this T intersection, this just isn't ready to support kind of what's happening down here. So we need to fix this over here. A big part of that is we don't have good metro coverage, especially over here. So I may plop something in there. You know, if I don't get any suggestions, then we'll do some basic loops and get people moving around, get them hooked up into that side of the system. And I think that will help make some dent in the traffic. But it's an ongoing process. It's ever evolving. We're learning every time we tune and tweak something. We're moving a problem somewhere else until we eventually move it off map and make it somebody else's problem. So we'll shoot for that in the next couple episodes, just tuning and tweaking what we've already built. It's pretty crazy and dense, and we'll just keep working on it and hoping that it grows slowly but surely. But if you did enjoy the video, likes, comments, shares help the channel and are greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to get notifications, and until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.